In this video, we're going to go over exponential equations. So an exponential equation is an equation in the form y equals a times b to the x. So in this equation, I want you to remember that a and b will represent constants, where a is the initial value of the equation. B is called the base, and the variable x will be in the exponent. So for example, if we have the equation y equals 3 times 2 to the x, 2 is the base, because that's what's being raised to the exponent, and 3 is the initial value. If we have an equation like 5 times 1 half to the x, 1 half is the base because that's being raised to the exponent, and 5 is the initial value. So I also want you to notice the pattern in an exponential equation. So here we have the table of values for the two previous equations we saw, y equals 3 times 2 to the x and y equals 5 times 1 half to the x. So I want you to look at the y values and see what's happening here as we go from one value to the next. Do you notice a pattern in these two tables? So what happens in an exponential equation is that every time x goes up by 1, y gets multiplied by the value of b. So you see in this equation, the value of b is 2. So every time x goes up by 1, y gets multiplied by 2 because that's the value of the base. So similarly, in 5 times 1 half to the x, notice that every time x goes up by 1, the y value gets multiplied by 1 half because that is the value of b in this equation. So in summary, remember that an exponential equation is an equation in which the variable is in the exponent.